Okay, I have renamed the handling invoice and GR variances to handling invoice and GR price difference and quantity difference, so that it's more clear. So the earlier topic has been saved under this title. Now we're going to look at this quantity difference title. But before that, I would like to actually clarify one thing. Remember, in the early topic here, I told you that it is strange that manual payment is allowed even though the invoice has been blocked for payment. The reason being is that when I come to this financial accounting, accounts receivable, business transaction, incoming payments, global settings, and payment block reasons, when I go to the payment block of R, which is for invoice verification, this checkbox is not checked. This checkbox has to be checked if any documents which are blocked using this R indicator is to be prevented from manual payment. So let me confirm this theory. I'm going to check this now, save it. Now I'm going to make a payment now to the same invoice, see whether that is allowed. I'll copy this. Okay, I'm going to go to accounting, financial accounting, accounts payable, document entry, outgoing document. Okay, I choose cash in bank. The total amount is, let me see, 396, right? Okay, 396. If my memory is correct, is 396, and the account is 40001. The vendor account, the process. Okay, and go to the bottom. This is the one I want to pay. Activate it. Alright, see, I'm not able to activate it due to online payment block. So earlier I was able to activate it and make the payment. Now I cannot because there is a payment block. Alright, so because of this R payment block, and we have also set the necessary settings in the define payment block reasons to block it during manual payments. It will not allow me to make any manual payments to this blocked document. Where is it? Here. Alright, it's good. So we learned something on the FI side. This is just for information purposes. Okay, let us continue with quantity difference. Then I will show you how to remove the payment block and run the payments. So I can also quit this, but never mind, I need at least one session. So now I'm going to demonstrate quantity difference, so I need to create a fresh purchase order for that. I'm going to adapt from this. Run it. Adopt. Now I need to create a new one, sorry. Press create new and adopt. Adopted. So everything is good, right? So I'm going to save this. Copy this. Go to Migo. Press enter. Material quantity. I received 6 units. For delivery note, I don't have to enter any delivery note. WH1. Okay, so it has been posted. Now go receive has been done. Now I go to my row. 6 unit has been received, so there will be a quantity difference here. The way how I'm going to show here is sample invoice with price difference. Okay, now I'm going to use sample invoice with quantity difference. Let me check if the earlier one is still there. I can remove this from sample invoice. So there's no confusion. Okay, I'm going to save this. So let me open up the quantity difference. So for quantity difference, okay, I can't use this actually. I need to open up this, the earlier one, sample vendor invoice, and I'm going to save this as sample invoice with quantity difference. Now I'm going to enter quantity that we receive is, let's say 5 units, and for price is still the same. Alright, and let me do over quantity first. Sorry, quantity that we are being billed for is higher than what we receive. Alright, so the amount will be 7. There's no change in the price. 7 times 5 with 350. So the new amount will be 350. Okay, the total amount will be 350. $380 plus the tax. So tax is 35. So sorry, 350 plus 35 will be 85. Right? Because the tax will be 35, 10%. Alright, this is what the new invoice that we receive. Look at the blue items, okay, to see the quantity difference. So let me post this, see what will happen now. $385. Then the purchase order is, I forgot the purchase order, ME23N. Is it 94? Yeah, it's 94, right? Okay. Migo has been done. I'm going to call it out. So I'm going to enter 7 units, and the total price will be 350. Okay, price is 350, and I'm going to simulate this, calculate the tax, enter the baseline date, okay, simulate. Now look at these postings now. Okay, what is happening here is that since we enter a quantity which is higher than what we received earlier, which is 7, the system will post the total value 350 to the GRIR clearing account. Okay, so the clearing GRIR clearing during good receipt will have a value of 300, right? Let me show you this one. It's got a value of 300, right? GRIR clearing at 300. So the balance of $50 will always remain open in the GRIR clearing account for the extra quantity that has been invoiced. So what you can do, you can actually post further good receipt, because when the vendor has invoiced you higher than what they delivered, obviously we can expect some further goods delivery from the vendor for the 1 unit, the balance 1 unit, which will happen in some time in the future. Okay, we can still post this. Can you see the warning message here? The warning message has been generated here. Quantity invoice greater than goods received quantity. So it says that quantity that is being invoiced is greater than good received. So further good received is expected. You can still post it. But the problem is when they deliver the balance 1 quantity, and when you do the MIGO, there's no way you can match the balance 1 quantity to this invoice. In other words, your purchase order history will not show you that 1 unit that we receive later matched to the this invoice that you have posted, because since we have posted the invoice earlier than the 1 unit arrival, there will be no link between the 1 unit good receipt posting and this incoming invoice. That's what has been explained here. See this, read this thing, read this paragraph. If good receipt based invoice verification has been defined for purchase order item and a good receipt has been posted and an invoice now is entered for larger quantity, the standard system is configured to display a warning message. That's what we are seeing here, for the warning message, right? We can still, this enables you to post a quantity larger than that received at the time of invoice, even when the good receipt based invoice verification is active. But note that no more good receipt can be matched to this invoice. As a result, you can no longer tell from the purchase order history which good receipt items belong to which invoice items. So the purchase order history will go out of sync for the balance on unit that you are going to post later on. So we better don't allow this to happen in a system. You can change this warning message to error message in the configuration, so that error message is displayed instead of warning message, and this is prevented from happening. So this is the case if you enter a larger quantity. So the posting looks like this, very simple. Nothing is posted to the price difference account, because this is not due to price difference. This is, the price remains the same as $50, as you can see from the standard price here. So there's no price differences that has occurred. The only difference that is occurred is the quantity, where we are invoicing for a larger quantity by 1 unit. So that 1 unit we will post a good receipt later on. That's what the system is assuming. We can go ahead and post this, but I'm not going to post this. I'm going to simulate the different example whereby the quantity is lower than the good receipt quantity. Let's change this to 5. Let us see what will happen. $250. This should be changed to $250. US $250. Tax will be 25. So total will be 275. Yeah. US 275. Okay, so we can post it now. Let us see what will happen. 5 250 and the total is 275. Change it to 275 and we simulate. Okay, what will happen? Let me check the message first. There's no messages and it says 5 units. So this is very normal. So what's happening here, there's no price difference posting, and the GRIR will be cleared by 250. The remaining $50 will remain open in the GRIR because the system is assuming that the vendor will send a separate invoice for the remaining 1 unit. This is what the system assumes, because the vendor has sent an invoice for 5 units. So there is a balance invoice of 1 unit which remains open because the total delivered is 6. So the system is assuming that the vendor is going to send 2 invoices, 5 units on the first invoice and the balance 1 unit in the second invoice. That's why no price differences or whatsoever is calculated here. It's very straightforward. The system will allow you to post this. Okay. If the vendor does not send back to you any further invoices, that will remain open. The GRIR will remain open in by $50. So that has to be cleared when we come to GRIR account maintenance. I'll show that to you later when we come here, but for this we'll assume that there will be 2 invoices. Let me post this now. Okay, posted. Now let me check. Let me check the purchase order. ME23M. Okay, now it has been posted by 5. So the balance of $50 remain open in the GRIR. Let me check the GRIR account. Okay. Let me go to follow on documents. Okay, let's copy the GRIR account 40006. The FBL 13N 40006 items, no line item display. Okay, let us choose this. Choose this, yeah, 40001. Purchase order date, we leave it empty. We choose current date. We choose this is called delivery surplus. Yeah, this is called delivery surplus. So I'm going to select this. Okay, I can see the delivery surplus here. $653 is, so this document here. Okay, let's look at this purchase document. This is a purchase document that we are working on. You can see the received quantity is 6 and invoice is 5, so the difference quantity is 1, so the difference value of $50. So we have received only received only 5, so there's a balance of 1 which needs to be invoiced. So this is why we call delivery surplus. We have delivery surplus. The vendor has supplied deliveries, but he has not invoiced us yet. So if it's an invoice surplus, you can choose invoice surplus here, see whether there's any invoice surplus, but there's no invoice surplus here. I'll create a document. I'll create an invoice surplus later on when we come to this GRI account maintenance, but for now let's look at the delivery surplus. See this, and look at these documents here, the other purchase documents. We have received 2 units, but we have not invoiced anything yet. That's why there's a difference of 2. Same thing, 10 we have received, nothing is invoiced, so 10 is remaining open here to be invoiced. So we expect the system, the vendor, to send another invoice for this 1 unit later on. So remember this report, which is very useful for us to find out what is remaining open in the GRIR account. So it's under logistics, material management, logistic verification, GRIR account maintenance, and here where you can select delivery, you want to see the delivery surplus or invoice surplus or both, and enter the vendor and so forth. I'll explain about this report when we come to GRIR account maintenance later, but for now we just understand that using this screen we can check the balances remaining open in the GRIR account. That's good. So let me check. So we have also seen the quantity difference, how the system will treat. Okay, I'm going to end the topic here.